Since the Xbox Games Showcase was announced, Microsoft had been promising a huge focus towards Series X games. Over this past console generation, Xbox has been behind in terms of exclusive titles when compared to Sony and Nintendo. To fill that empty exclusivity void, Microsoft acquired many companies over the past couple of years, totaling up to 15 dev teams joining the Xbox Game Studios family. With heavy hitters like Ninja Theory and Obsidian backing the console, the future of Xbox was looking bright. The unfortunate reality is that a majority of the presentation was underwhelming to say the least. From the lack of gameplay to only a few surprising game reveals, there were a plethora of problems that prevent Xbox from reaching its true potential. A huge criticism of the Xbox One is the lack of first-party games. The Inside Xbox livestream in May showed off just a glimpse of third-party titles with more in-game engine footage than actual gameplay, like Microsoft had previously promised. History seems to be repeating itself yet again as their first-party livestream also lacks games and gameplay. While they do show off Halo Infinite, other games like The Medium have trailers that blur the line between gameplay and in-game engine footage. Forza Motorsport revealed a visually stunning trailer that doesn't reveal how the game will actually play. Hellblade: Senua's Saga and Scorn both had reveal trailers earlier this year, but had little to no presence at the showcase. Ninja Theory, the team behind Hellblade, revealed that the game would take place in Iceland? That's it.
I'm happy to reveal today that Senua's Saga will be set in the beautiful country of Iceland. And you can find out more about our location scouting and how we've discovered the history of our setting in a brand new behind-the-scenes development diary, which you can view straight after the show on the Ninja Theory YouTube channel.
As for Scorn, we still have no gameplay despite it being a day one launch title. Trailers that did end up showing gameplay were mostly projects that are being optimized for Xbox Series X, arriving to Game Pass, or are games we have already seen before. Destiny 2's announcement is a prime example of this. A game that came out in 2017 had a longer segment than the likes of the Hellblade sequel, Forza, Scorn, State of Decay 3, and more. You can argue that a lot of the games on display are in early development, but if that's the case, then each project is being teased way too early. A rushed product is never good, but Xbox Game Studios might want to crank out the games sooner if they want to have consumers make the switch over from its competitors. It's important to look to the future, but it's equally important to show off what people are going to get when they purchase an Xbox Series X on day one. Tetris Effect, The Gunk, Destiny 2, The Outer Worlds DLC, Ori Next Gen Upgrade, Hellblade, and As Dusk Falls were all announcements and reveals that felt unnecessary. Although The Gunk and As Dusk Falls are two new games, The Gunk doesn't do anything to stand out when compared to other games in its genre. The premise for As Dusk Falls is interesting, but the gameplay seems to be taking a painting and art piece type of approach that doesn't seem to appeal to mass audiences. Only a niche group of Xbox owners will even give it a shot, which is disappointing because Xbox Game Studios hyped up the studio behind the game. Whether it turns out to be good is unclear, but I wish Xbox made games on a much grander, more realistic scale like its competitors. I appreciate Xbox's effort to help out small indie teams, but Xbox definitely needs an IP that can compete with the likes of God of War, Spider-Man, and Horizon, as well as every exclusive Nintendo is bringing to the table.
I love the real shit. I love gorgeous and cartoony too, but look at this. That looks good. Damn! I like that. Look at that effect with the lighting. Now this looks off the chain.
All roads were leading to this showcase. Team Xbox members had taken to social media to get everyone hyped for this event. Although Xbox will have another one in August, fans had high expectations for this one due to Sony's positively received PS5 reveal and extremely disappointing Inside Xbox stream back in May. Add to that Xbox's constant reminders of their 15 game studios being hard at work, and you have a recipe for warranted anticipation. 9 out of the 15 teams had something to reveal, which is great, but Xbox only had a few surprises that stood out. State of Decay 3, Forza, Halo Infinite, and even the rumored Fable were all expected, but there were a few announcements that shocked anybody who keeps up with games today. Sony's presentation surprised us with a console reveal, Resident Evil 8, and a new Spider-Man game, just to name a few. Spider-Man is even more impressive when you take into account that it will be launching with the PS5 and it is being released only 2 years after the original. To put it into perspective, Halo Infinite has been in development for 4 to 5 years, and we only have campaign gameplay, and we know next to nothing about the multiplayer.
Are you out of your mind?
Despite the many problems that plagued the showcase, there were also some things to look forward to. Obsidian's Avowed looks like a brand new IP that Xbox really needs right now, but it seems like fans won't be getting their hands on it anytime soon. Warhammer, Darktide, and Stalker 2 look incredible, but unfortunately everyone will need to wait longer to see how the games actually play. Crossfire X looks incredible from both a story and visual standpoint. The fact that everything put on display will be on Game Pass is a victory for Xbox and all owners of the Series X, as there are many potentially great titles you can play for the price of a consumer-friendly ecosystem. As much as I wanted to love this livestream, I couldn't. Everyone knows by now I'm a die-hard Xbox fan since day one of the original console. I played Halo Combat Evolved ever since I was a kid, and after watching both Sony and Microsoft's reveals, all biases aside, I have to say I'm a bit let down by Team Xbox. The future still looks promising, but as it stands right now, Xbox needs more exclusives and reasons to get a Series X over a PS5 that isn't just Game Pass, Halo, or other first-party games that we already know about. I don't think Xbox is done for by any means, but I wanted to share my thoughts on why a lot of people were let down by the Xbox Games Showcase. Here's hoping we can see more gameplay, have substantial information about future games like Hellblade, Everwild, and Avowed, and get more first-party games sooner rather than later. For more news, reviews, reveals, plus a whole lot more, like this video and share it if you enjoyed. Subscribe and follow at JTReviewsPlus on Instagram, Facebook, and WordPress. Thank you for watching.
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk